Welcome back to my YouTube channel and shout out to the Sofi Nation. All right, congrats. Um, Big day today. We had earnings and Sofi is now profitable. So, um, where are we going from here? We'll do a recap and then we'll talk about where I think we're going from here, what's to be expected, and what am I doing? All right. So we'll pull up the portfolio. As you can see, we had a 20% upward price movement in the stock today. Um, Still maintaining that. Still got that 1,200 shares, 10K invested. Whole portfolio pretty much went up today, except Planet went down 1%, but that's nothing burgers. To be honest, I actually want to see weakness in the Planet. I want that bad boy to go down to the 60s, 50 cents, range, so I could start building up that position. But got a couple months there to start executing on that. That's another story for another video. But yep, there's my portfolio. I went over the buy orders before, so we'll recap what I projected in the past videos. We'll talk about what happened. Let's go to the 5-day. Actually, go back to the month or whatever. Still down on the month, but that's gonna change here pretty shortly. My last video, I actually thought to myself, and I put it out there, we're either going up or we're going down last week. And I did not think we were going to stay flat and sideways, but as far as price action goes, but we did. So you never can tell with the market. But one thing I did know is if SoFi came out with a beat and their guidance was good, this thing was going to rocket. And I'm able to say that I'm an earlier investor and pretty much capped my position for before they reported profitability and before they were profitable. So I'm proud about that. So we went up 20%. Honestly, I was expecting it to just rocket up to like 20%, and I'm expecting this thing to keep running all week, to tell you the truth. I'm not a fortune teller. I don't know. I don't have a crystal ball, but we'll see. I wouldn't be surprised. Now, if you looked at my earlier videos on my thesis for why I'm bullish on SoFi, I mentioned, we'll talk about the narrative. We'll talk about different things, but on my previous videos, I mentioned why I'm invested in SoFi. I don't know if you remember when I said they're a bank today. I don't invest for today. I invest for tomorrow. Okay. So it's actually tomorrow, and I'm staying invested for tomorrow. So if you picked up on some of the news media and the narrative, you're going to start, after this profitability, if you haven't already, you're going to start picking up on the sentiment, narrative, and different verbiage about SoFi. Noto actually guided that their Technisys, or their technology platform, is going to start making up, and by the end of the year, it's going to be about making up 50% of their revenue. Moving forward, a 20% growth on that, and all their services are profitable and rightfully reflective within the actual quarter's report. So their quarter's report of profitability, the street was, we'll pull up earnings here real quick. Excuse me. The street was expecting 0.00 cents of GAAP EPS. SoFi did 2 cents is what I'm tracking, and put out good guidance. So that's why stock's going up. Now, banks have low multiples. All right. They trade at horrible multiples. Now that we have the tech side of the house, okay, making up, however, like about half the revenue, and probably maybe more going forward, depending on how well that scales in the future. either way, this thing is going to command higher multiple because now once again, and if you haven't seen it already, look at some of the press, look at some of the some of the media verbiage. They're starting to recognize and call SoFi a fintech, all right, a financial technology company, and rightfully so. So I invest in younger, smaller companies with growth potential that have the opportunity to disrupt and have higher growth have higher growth ratings than and growth rates than the overall sector. So that's what I'm interested in. And SoFi is my financial play. That's to disrupt the finance sector. Um, so going back to, all right, what am I gonna do with SoFi? Let's recap what I did. Um, you can't time the market, but you can time when you want to go in and set your position up. And I think this was a prime time and prime opportunity for me to set the position up before earnings of profitability. Because let's be quite frank, I don't think $7 is ever coming again for SoFi. That ship has sailed. We're done with $7. We're not. I don't think we're going to see that ever again. I could be wrong. Maybe some recession hits, some crazy crash in the market, some bird flu happens. I don't know. You never can tell, but I don't think $7 is coming again for SoFi. I think we're going to run up, command a higher multiple and a better valuation, and the gains are going to stick. And I don't think we're going down again. All right, we may plateau and peak up at some point, and then see a little tiny curvature dip, and then start actually catching support at a certain level lower than the high. But it's going to be, I mean, maybe it's $10, $11. I don't know but we'll find out what the market decides to value SoFi at and moving forward. All right, so that's what I think is going to happen. So what did it take? You got to get the capital, get your personal life squared away. I got my life squared away. I put the money in the brokerage. I stacked up cash. You saw me building up the cash position, and I did the research. I took the risk, and I deployed the capital when I saw fit. So what do I do now? All right, now that we're seeing upward momentum and so forth. Well, that's easy. I just hold. All right. So the work is done on my part, or was done when I put that last buy order in. That your job. My job as an investor is, once again, get the capital, do the research, tactically figure out when I'm going to get into the position, invest and take the risk, and believe. All right. And once you do that, your job's just to hold from there. To me, holding is just the easier part. The longer you hold the equity and the more they perform, the better it is. The less riskier it becomes, the more profit there is. All right. Because the company will start yielding that income profits eventually. All right. And SoFi is now profitable. So that's my take. SoFi is just going to be, I'm just going to hold every share. I'm not selling anything. It's going to be just like a Palantir here, where the gains are going to stick and the story continues. And yeah, we start to live happily ever after. There's going to be some ups and downs, of course, but you just have to hold. That's it. Don't sell. It's not financial advice. That's my mentality that I'm portraying. But, yep, I'm just planning on holding SoFi for the long term. Several years, maybe a decade or two. Who knows? All right. So that's my case on SoFi. So you can see I got all military gear stuff laying around. I'm about to pack the house up and head on over to Texas. I'll try to put out some more videos here or there, but I'll admit there's going to be some limitations because there's going to be some mission demands and me packing up the house and having to go through all that. I'll lose my desk temporarily, but you'll see a new setup in a much higher. It'll be one of my houses that I'm moving back into, and it's pretty nice. So definitely an upgrade, and looking forward to that. I appreciate everybody's support. Shout out to the guy I was talking to when I was playing cards at the casino. I told you to watch Sofi for today or whatever to see what it does, and then there you go. Look at it, Um, so hey, I encourage you to, I hope you get value out of this channel. I hope everybody who's subscribed gets value out of this channel. Stay tuned, and the next video I put out, I'll start talking more about my next move into the next stock. All right. Until then, thank you all for your support, and enjoy the rest of your week.